let me handle this. Detective Disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are?
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
Yes, extremely normal. I'm not a gardener, by the way. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe that's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our...
She says nothing. Could this be the Miss Beaufort that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everard sent to law school?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems? I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on what...
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her. You caught her off guard. Push her some more.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel.
You set the pace and the topic of these conversations here. Establish that.
I represent the union and these men here. Don't make this personal.
A very minor victory.
What are we going to do to you? The union isn't going to do it.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress. Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These...
Just dock workers? Do dock workers spy on the police?
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing...
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. I don't need privatization peons from a rent-a-cop. Just do your job. Ask your question.
This is where you say your bit.
Detective.
Oh, this is about him. A real...
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff.
time to go to work in the shit factory.
Easy, boys. These janitors have a...
You might want to start asking your questions now.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man in his 30s. Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. And then standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes, size 46. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little in the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 40 on his neck. Forget it, it's not important. Let's call this one the musician. Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46. Deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He, alone, is one. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were there. Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything.
The fuck is with you, fella? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy, there's 7 of us and we're all... Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy?
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what?
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy.
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boy. You're not cops here. Don't go digging around.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question?
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
Shame. Whining about your back every...
René, you're a man with a fork in the world of...
I'm trying to, but you keep...
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask. No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game. You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every victory. The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. Already your muscles are adjusting to the... A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. An embodiment of pure... Some would still say you're a cop, but I guess we're beyond that now.
Merde! Bordel de merde!
It wasn't mid. The shot was at least 20.
What the hell is your problem? You vandalized our game, son! We can't play pétanque with 5 bull! Well, it damn well isn't! It's pétanque! You ruined a
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug! You are as a goddamn bull! Good! Mistakes are forgiven, when men at least try.
You never know. He might know something. This is a good vantage point.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I am in Martinez. The Union. Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with police. If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave. It's a private matter.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man who'd rather die.
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own bit. No one. The boss has been unmanned since last Monday.
No one has been guarding the
Yes. It's...
Look, officers, the container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before, René.
The possibility of someone being in there is a...
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Look, officer, can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now? She is nobody.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep... Ah, yes!
Oh, absolutely.
A superpower, feared and respected, decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgent, Alessio, is only a...
Don't get started on that again.
The Carabinier doesn't reply, but his no one and nothing can change this man's mind. He is as rigid as they come.
Right.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. It's also about that, but it's also more. It's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. I knew we could trust you. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in,
I have really...
Yes, that's what you...
René! Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But no, officers, I'm sorry.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything.
Respect!
I'm not.
Of course he's holding back.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history.
The old soldier mumbled. There he stands, proud,
Let's try not to get caught in a...
lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animosity.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of it. I hate the socialist rabble. But even siding with them...
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, Oh, nothing official, I assure you.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what...
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals.
The worn and beaten wooden plank.
We can sit on that.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Betancourt. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the... So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Crenel, and the one before it was Downwell.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
Hard to say. The client list is rather diverse and incomplete. The only constant seems to be that the mercenaries are always deployed in... Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to serve private sector
This is a fun challenge for her, an opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort.
Sure. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I will have more information for you then. 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
Looking for something? Drugs? They're shit, man. You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage. Not in, not out. I'll never...
So you're telling us that you don't know it?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling and Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that he's a kips who do all the stealing around here? It's not road science, man. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Just follow the smell. It smells like...
Yes, yes.
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sealangs usually... His tribe are natural liars.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not in...
Guess so.
The tear machine stands in the... Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a... Do you know what you should do? There are clothes inside. Cheap.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabric.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird...
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand. Buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
No good. All you can come up with are some treated wool pants. You can tell they're too tight around your...
No luck? Why not take another look, officer? Keep supporting the economy.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers.
I can see you have a taste for luxury, officer.
A pair of found ultras.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers.
Only? That's madness. These once respectable speakers.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the... These, officer? These speakers are...
Samaran trash. That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic. There's a pile of cheap...
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the...
Abort. These are hideous.
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy!
They're perfect for concealing your...
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you! You should think this through, officer.
These are all boring. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, super material, very cool. UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe.
No luck. All you...
Oh! That...
Hey, at least it might actually offer some protection against the sun. No...
You don't like it? Sure, Square Joe. No problem. Let's get you some real shades.
You see a Samaran street vendor. The name, Sileng.
Happy shopping, officer! Everything's cool!
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers. It's sweet.
You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang! You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Strictly business. Maybe I can interest you. Drugs? I don't... Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! That's very cool. I don't like drugs either. I only said I do because I didn't want to sound lame. That's even cooler. You investigating narcotics crimes like that? But I am not a lorry. Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole.
Realizing he can't get out of it.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. No! That's insane. It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent nothing. I told you.
And
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
no use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to my...
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
I don't know. I'm not local. All of them. I don't know.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a putt. Me? It's a...
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot.
Very sharp, officer. I'm Serais, from the Seaguy province of the Serais Empire.
The apricot suzerainty is what the Seaguy archipelago is commonly known as.
No, apricots come from Seaguy. My grandma used to grow them. But Seaguy is a shit. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur? I send half my profits back to my grandma in Seaguy.
Hello? Me? No one.
She doesn't really want to be the... If she's such a working-class woman, why isn't she?
Looking for something to read. I know you are. What with?
What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go missing.
My husband? No, he's... I don't know. At home.
Where is this going, officer?
Yes, but... No. Why are we still talking about...
It's got to be something else then. Why else would you be asking her if it wasn't?
I don't mean to disrespect, sir.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get like this. It's better.
I don't even have a cockatoo. And guess what? Even if I had, it would be great. Wonderful.
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow.
No, absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny? They are not.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking. Given the...
What? That's just... My daughters are... They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them. My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you?
Did someone say party? You could use a party.
There is no investigation here.
Okay, it must be asked then. What are you doing here? The woman before you.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books? Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed. No, sir. She's working... I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful.
The woman before you.
Trying to sneak up on me again!
The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on. A tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you. The door is closed. Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all just too...
No problem, officer.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you? Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam. The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when back in Methka, during the time of the revolution? Until you came along, that is. Someone was. They are someone's memories, boy. They are beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful.
All of what? The world. The present.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black... While you, people, were tearing each other apart over...
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muwindi.
This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint. Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hell.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging, so...
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff? I'm starting to think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots, made of...
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of...
Moreover, the boots were size 30. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of his innocence.
It was. And then it was not. Perhaps it was another Sheriff who came and woke me up, looking at my boot.
As she says, Carnival, she gestures to the empty square with the statue.
I could have told you that from just looking at them.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals. What do I need drugs for, Loman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, not... Yes, there is a protagonista, and a...
Those epithets are familiar somehow.
Then what were you getting at? You're mad, Loman. What of it? Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat, on the U41A. What do you... No, Loman. Diamonds. Easy. Is the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any...
Diamonds are good for you, Loman. You should try them sometime. Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry...
I think we're done here, no? She's just a distracted old woman.
So he doesn't...
You hear that, Loman? I don't think your partner like... Oh, don't worry about me. Lomonosov's land, Udashnaya Zemlya...
A terrible cold comes over her, rattling her
the Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas do Mirador. All the good ones. You're right, Loman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously.
A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby.
Is that all you woke me up to say? Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it... Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides,
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Oh, it's so much more than a high...
Yeah, it's definitely some kick. Some terrible kick in the dark. A sleep kick.
Then it's contraband, Loman. What?
Bad hand. Hermenegildos's bad hand. Strangled through...
Yes, go.
Kingdom of Conscience. file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer, the drawer. Before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything,
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened the back. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying. Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
the containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core.
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to every...
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the debar.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you? You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the door. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in
You mean our victim?
a security contractor. Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship. I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramoritsa. You name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very... But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out.
By negotiator.
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the...
That sounds a bit like...
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen.
Again, that sounds like...
So these idealists kill...
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist..." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for...
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martin A's boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see them...
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error? Anyway.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army...
So you believe the scabs were organized by this...
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. Of course. You're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me. Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she's scared...
Wait, the girl by the whirling, who was keeping an eye on you. Is he talking about her?
I did that, didn't I? She thinks of herself as a guerrilla fighter. These middle-class kids and the books they read are crazy, Harry. I think she would rather be an insurgent than a lawyer. I hope it's a phase. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself.
Interesting. Who said...
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'd work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry.
You can now go and tell Titus about this.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out.
Needless to say, this is another move.
Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martin A's. And of course, I also wanted you to find your... Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to.
A man of the left. So you have to be. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found, and I have a proposal for you.
And what would isn't?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks,
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm going to hand you the keys to Martinez. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry. On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it.
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of cavalry boots under the fish in the box, and the wind howls.
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little...
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks...
They are just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun. Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like By all means, Harry. What's on your mind? See you soon, Debardeur.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period. The youth center cuts. It's going to be awfully close to the already existing. This is either an ominous, my money is on cool. Looks like...
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but...
There is no loophole. The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next.
I should have seen it. Everard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signature. However, we need access to the coast before we do anything. Everard won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village. You can try forgery as soon as we...
The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow. is the night watchman's booth. The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow. The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box. Oh boy, where to start? Elevated risk of dementia? Mini strokes? Don't think about that. Quick, think about something else. The enormity of the case before you dwarfs the list of side effects. You can't even see the... You take the painkillers. They are yours now. You stand and exit the booth.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work. Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Right to work! Right to work! Sure. We were promised work. We'd be in there. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Yeah? That giant up there on the bridge you talked to. Head measurer. Well, bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous... I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. Like civilized folk, you mean? These...
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge. Honest men and women, with rights, to work, to be useful. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis.
I have a question. Why do all these...
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market. The rules of the...
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of... Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how come...
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. God, I've told told her not to do that. It's such a
A part of hers, too, clearly.
She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called...
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
She stands stiff and severe. This is a person coming to terms with a new reality. She's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette. Yes, sometimes it's better to let people come to these conclusions themselves.
Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter, it's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighborhoods east of Jamrock. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call...
Super silent. Almost inaudibly so.
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Children are a lot of work. I'm sorry, I'm sure you do understand. She's been too busy, helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of
And hell freezes over? Never mind. The woman looks aloof. Her features much softer. Occasionally she...
Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you? Everything is on the shelves. Take a look.
She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She smiles and nods, seemingly.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now.
You just can't win. Out of the rain and into the gutter. Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Yes, I used to stand out there all the time. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir. Apologizing to everyone. Of course, you stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you. Yeah, but you don't have party...
Party eyes. Yes, of course.
I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with...
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly...
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That... Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Oh baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important...
I didn't know I had to do that. I'm glad I could help you, sir.
You see a set of tattered curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from both. This is a traditional Seminese ward. Inhabitants of, aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else.
Nothing? Why aren't you browsing the books? Don't you feel compelled?
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put us... Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, several maps have been attached to it. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda. This large map displays archipelago Ozon, Lauren disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou. radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol. With a radius of 80, you can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozone, lost little pearls of light. 850 million people live on these little dots. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths. All point connections to other worlds. Words past the Incelindian, unknown to you. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars. Perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer dust. It's not really a map. It's a tour. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is that old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was, nor from when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years.
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the street. Your finger moves through the various streets, finally coming to a halt.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime. Amidst the various books, the point of the book, and many others on this shelf, it serves platitudes, while also telling everyone, wholeness, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself. The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. There's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preserved. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this? The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The book contains very little explanation on the matter. The book contains descriptions. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venek, or it is, and good for the circulation. It also recommends consuming distilled spirits, like, among other benefits, it is alleged to restore. That seems improbable. For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this. This is exactly what you... I don't know. I don't want to be the party pooper, but this pale territory. There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their merit.
Excuse me, sir. I believe you've been perusing that particular volume long enough. If you'd like to continue reading, I must...
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biography. Browsing through all the books with all their... Suddenly, a particular high-speed love chronicle next to Irv's life. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not... I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You...
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are...
Wonderful board games, sir. Browbritter is a fun game of economic competition.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family? It certainly feels like whatever you are will die with you.
Friends are technically like family. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Word has traveled, yes, but nothing of real substance has surfaced yet, I gather.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout. It would give them a read on the...
It appears we are being monitored every step we take, colleague. Did we have any other business here?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
You hear someone walking. The walking stops abruptly. You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant?
Let's go. We don't have a...
It's generally easier to do things.